Now tell him how to be started.
Yeah, I just want to give the audience some context. So Kenyon Martin was on his podcast, or he was Gilbert Arenas' podcast, and they were talking about tough guys, like who the kind of enforcers are in the NBA. And Kenyon Martin's thing was Draymond is kind of like a fake tough guy. He never gives it to anybody that's gonna give it back.
I might see where you say that. All the clips I've seen.
And then Draymond responded on his podcast saying basically he didn't really address Kenyon's point. Instead, he talked about Kenyon Martin's career and sort of basically saying, I've accomplished this, you've accomplished that, you're an underachiever. And then that made Kenyon Martin go on his live stream and make a whole conversation about, about his career and such. And that's how the beef, that's how they got back and forth. And that's what sparked the Kenyon Martin.
And that's the thing. Draymond will be able to say that to whoever he's arguing with. He said it to Charles Barkley now.
To Kenyon,
which is crazy.
To Kenyon Martin's point. So Kenyon Martin is saying basically you are allowing your championships that you've won to now be your crutch almost to anybody that you have in a basketball conversation with. And I heard somebody say, yo, dog.
Is that wrong?
Yes.
Why?
What up? It's your boy, back again. Marlo knows basketball and Marlo knows boxing. Back at y'all with another one. Who saw this coming? The biggest storyline of the 2025-2026 season so far is a beef between Draymond Green and not another current player, but Kenyon Martin. Kenyon Martin has allowed Draymond Green to change the narrative and change the conversation to a conversation that Kenyon Martin cannot really have, but he's desperately trying. Anyone trying to argue that Kenyon Martin is on Draymond Green's level when it comes to what they both accomplished in their careers is flat out crazy. And to say that Kenyon Martin, even the people that are saying Kenyon Martin is just a better basketball player, is flat out crazy. Kenyon Martin does not have an argument against Draymond Green whatsoever. And a lot of Curry fanboys and Draymond Green haters, such as Kenyon Martin, they love to give Stephen Curry all of the credit for the 4 championships. They love to give the credit to Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant for a couple of them. But they refuse to give Draymond Green any credit. Draymond Green contributed just as much, if not more, to those championships as Klay Thompson did. If Stephen Curry contributed 60%, Draymond Green at least contributed 40%. If you really want to go there. 3 of the 4 championships that Golden State has won these last 10 years, they've been ranked first or second in defensive rating. First or second. In 2022, the Golden State Warriors were number 1 in defensive rating. In 2017, the Warriors were second in defensive rating. And of course, in 2015, they were again number 1 in defensive rating. They're not winning those championships if they're not a great defensive team. The only championship that they won without being a top 2 defense was in 2018. And in my opinion, they wouldn't have won that championship if Chris Paul didn't get injured. And if you want to give Stephen Curry the credit for the offense, the defense was obviously anchored by Draymond Green, who during this era has easily been the best or second best. It's either him or Rudy Gobert, who are the 2 best defensive players of this era. I give Draymond Green a slight edge due to him being better versatility-wise and being able to guard more positions. And when he gets caught on switches on the perimeter, he doesn't get cooked as easily as Rudy Gobert. So I give Draymond Green a slight edge. Of course, former Defensive Player of the Year. The reason why those Warriors teams were great defensively is because of Draymond Green. I know the Curry fanboys always want to make it seem like Draymond Green is garbage and Curry's carrying him. Yeah, offensively, Curry is carrying Draymond Green. Draymond Green would not have the offensive impact that he has if it wasn't for Stephen Curry. But when it comes to defensively, that's all Draymond Green. Draymond Green is the reason why that team was what they were defensively. Not Stephen Curry when he's out there getting cooked, shooked, crossed over and abused and hunted on defense, so much to the point that Steve Kerr has to take him out of the game for crucial defensive possessions down the stretch.
Defensive possession or Kyrie shot over play, is that something that you discussed with him? Or,
No, that's just strategy. We wanted more length. You know, Sean gives us a lot of length, the ability to go up and get a rebound on a missed shot, or if we need to switch something, we can switch it like-sized. So it's nothing that needs to be discussed. I mean, every player wants to be out there all the time, but we're going to do whatever we think is best for the given moment.
Is there any concern though with him? Potentially he's had a rough game, and he kind of admitted some frustration with not being on the floor. I mean, does that weigh into your decision?
No. He's a big boy, and he's a two-time MVP. He's an unbelievably mature, thoughtful person. He was, I'm sure, upset at the way the game went for him. Just like I was upset after the game with my comments talking about our turnovers, and we were all upset. But in the end, we're all together, win or lose, and we keep pushing forward.
And Steve Kerr could try to cover for Curry as much as he wants, but he's a defensive liability. When he's taking Stephen Curry out of those games, it's not because of length, it's not because of size, because he's replacing them with guys like Gary Payton Jr., who is the same size, if not smaller, than Stephen Curry. He's a defensive liability. And the main reason that Golden State is able to be a great defensive team despite him is because of Draymond Green. You cannot take that away from him.
And from someone who came into this thing to a bad team, year 2, make it to the finals, led said team in scoring. Can you say that? Don't think so, brother.
When Kenyon Martin tries to make points like that, that's just gaslighting to the finest degree. People are going to go back and revisit these games, rewatch these games, and see what you actually did. You said it like it's a flex when you said, oh, we got to the finals, I got to the finals and led my team in scoring. Yes, technically it is true. You led the 2002 New Jersey Nets in scoring. But brother, you only averaged 14 points a game. 14 points a game. You said it like you was averaging 25, 30. Come on, man. That's just ridiculous. Can Draymond Green say he made it to the finals and led the team in scoring? No, he can't. But what Draymond can say is that he made it to the finals and averaged 14 points a game on the finals team, on a finals team, just like you did. So cut out the gaslighting, brother. That's not a flex. But when it really comes down to it, if you want to even stop talking about the championships completely, let's not even talk about championships. You still don't have anywhere near the resume that Draymond Green has. You still didn't see anywhere near the success without championships being involved. We're talking about Draymond Green, who made 2 All-NBA teams. You never made All-NBA. We're talking about a Draymond Green who has 9 All-NBA defensive team selections. You don't have any. 9-0 is pretty damning. We're talking about a defensive player of the year in Draymond Green. Obviously, you don't even have any All-NBA defensive team selections. We're talking about a Draymond Green who led the league in steals, and you obviously never came close to leading the league in any statistical category your whole career. And then when you look at actual statistics, you love to put it like you were such a superior scorer to Draymond Green. You roamed around and caught a lot of lobs. You had a little flimsy jump bunny hook, and that's about it. Anybody that's watched Kenyon Martin play, it ain't like you was coming down, breaking down the defense. You averaged 12 points for your career. Draymond Green averaged 8. So you averaged 4 more points than him. You're acting like you averaged 20 more points than he did. That's ridiculous. Draymond Green averaged more rebounds than you. He averaged 4 more assists than you. He averaged more steals than you. And you averaged more blocks. So out of the 5 major statistical categories, he beat you in 3 of them. So even when you talk about stats, you still don't win. If you want to talk about just prime, Draymond Green's best scoring output was 14 points a game. Yours was 16. His best rebounding output was 9 rebounds a game. Yours was 10. His most assists per game was 8, almost 9. Yours was 2. Steals per game, he's getting you 2 steals per game. You're getting 1.5, and you getting 0.3 more blocks. He's still beating you, bro. He's still beating you. There is no argument Kenyon Martin can make for him being better than Draymond Green. Draymond Green is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. That's guaranteed. Kenyon Martin is not going to sniff the Hall of Fame at all. Not even going to sniff it. We comparing a Hall of Famer with 4 championships, with a Hall of Fame resume without the championships, to a player that's not even going to come close to making the Hall of Fame. For Kenyon Martin and anybody on his side in regards to arguing who's the better basketball player or who had the better career between him and Draymond Green,
Deeply respect. I would say this was outlandish, unfortunate, and unwarranted.